Hello, and welcome back to Trending Japan. I'm Sakura.
And I'm Alex. Today's topics in Japan are you can literally rent a person to be your friend, your boyfriend, or even your life advice uncle. And it's a multi-million-dollar industry.
That sounds wild when you say it like that.
Right? When I first heard about this, I was like, wait, really? But it's totally real and it's everywhere in Japan right now.
It actually tells us something really important about modern Japanese society. The good, the lonely, and the practical, all rolled into one. So today, we're diving deep into what Japanese people call rentaru bunka, rental culture, and why renting a human being has become totally normalized here.
I have so many questions. Let's go.
Okay, so Alex, imagine this. You're a 35-year-old woman in Tokyo. Your family keeps asking you when you're getting married. Your friends are all busy with their own families. You're lonely, but you don't want to commit to a real relationship right now. So you pull out your phone and book a date.
But like a fake date?
Not fake exactly. A rental date. You pay someone, usually through an app or agency, to come meet you, go to a restaurant with you, hold your hand, take photos with you, maybe even meet your parents. And then at the end of the night, they leave. That's it. They're gone. No strings attached.
Okay, so that's rental kanoyo, rental girlfriend. Is that actually a thing people use?
Oh, absolutely. There are hundreds of companies in Japan offering this service. Some of the biggest agencies have thousands of registered rental girlfriends and rentaru kareshi, rental boyfriends working for them. We're talking about a market worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Wait, but isn't that kind of, I don't know, sad or weird?
That's the natural Western reaction, right? And I get it. But in Japan, it's much more accepted because the cultural context is different. Let me explain the background.
Please do.
So, Japan has been experiencing what social researchers call単身世帯化, the rise of single-person households. More people are living alone than ever before. Divorce rates are higher, people are marrying later or not at all, and the pressure to find a partner is real, especially for women.
Why is the pressure so strong?
Culturally, marriage and family have always been a big deal in Japan. It's tied to your social status, your role in society. Even now, in 2024, a single woman in her 30s or 40s can face judgment from her family, from coworkers, from society. There's even a term, Christmas cake, which used to describe unmarried women over 25. It's outdated, but the pressure still exists.
Yikes.
Right. So rental partners solve a very practical problem. You need to bring a date to a wedding. You need to tell your parents you have a boyfriend, so they'll stop asking. You want to experience what dating feels like without the emotional risk. You rent someone for a few hours and boom, problem solved.
But that's just the girlfriend and boyfriend angle. You mentioned renting an uncle.
Yes, there's also rentotal jisan, rental uncles, or more generally, rental older men or mentors. These guys will come meet you, listen to your problems, give you advice, take you to dinner, maybe even pretend to be your father at a family event. Some are retired men who just want to earn extra money and feel useful. Others are younger guys playing the role of a wise older friend.
That's actually kind of sweet.
It is, in a way. A lot of people who use these services are dealing with real loneliness. They've lost a parent, they don't have close family, or they're struggling and they just need someone to talk to. The rentotal jisan fills that gap. It's not a substitute for real relationships, but it's something.
So is this a sign of Japanese society being broken, or is it just a creative solution?
It's both, honestly. On one hand, the existence of these services points to a real problem: isolation, loneliness, weak social bonds. Japan has one of the highest rates of single-person households in the world. Many elderly people live completely alone. Young people struggle to form meaningful connections. There's a concept called kodokushi, or lonely death, where someone dies at home and isn't found for weeks or months.
Oh my God.
It's tragic, but it's real, and rental services in their own way are a response to that.
But on the other hand?
On the other hand, Japanese people are incredibly practical and entrepreneurial. They see a problem, they create a market solution. And honestly, there's something almost admirable about it. Instead of saying, you should just be comfortable being alone, the culture is saying, okay, you want human connection? We'll provide it. Here's the transaction, here's the price, here's no judgment.
So it's very transactional?
Very. That's key. In the West, especially America, there's this idea that relationships should be organic, authentic, unplanned. You meet someone, there's chemistry, you fall in love. The idea of paying for that experience feels wrong.
Right, exactly. We'd call it fake or inauthentic.
But in Japan, especially urban Japan, there's less stigma around transactions like this. People rent apartments, rent cars, rent phones, rent clothes, all very normal. So renting a person to fulfill a social function, to many Japanese people, that's just logical. It's efficient. It's kosapagai, good cost performance, good value for money.
That makes sense, actually.
And here's the interesting part. A lot of younger people using these services aren't desperate or lonely in the tragic sense. Some are using it for practical reasons. They want to practice dating before meeting someone real. Some are using it for social media. They want their Instagram to show them on dates, in relationships, looking happy. The rental person helps create that aesthetic.
Oh, wow. So it's about curating their image?
Absolutely. That's become a huge part of it. You rent someone, you take really nice photos together, you post them online, and suddenly your life looks fuller than it actually is. In a society where your social status is partly determined by what you show the world, that's incredibly appealing.
That's kind of dystopian, but I see the appeal.
Right? And it's worth noting, these services aren't legal everywhere. They exist in a gray zone. But they're not going away because they fill a real need, even if that need is partly created by social pressure and loneliness.
So what does this tell us about Japan's future?
That's the big question. Some people see it as a warning sign that Japan is becoming more isolated, more transactional, more fake. Others see it as Japanese people being adaptive and creative. Personally, I think it's both. It's a symptom of real problems, but it's also a very Japanese response to those problems.
So here's what I'm thinking. Rental culture in Japan isn't good or bad. It's a mirror. It reflects loneliness, yes, but also practicality, entrepreneurship, and a society where transactions replace some functions that relationships used to fill. And that's kind of fascinating.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, in your own country, what are the unmet needs that haven't been turned into a service yet?
That's a great question for all of us. So here's something to think about. Would you ever use a rental service like this, and why or why not? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's episode and want to hear more stories like this from Japan, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Until next time, mata ne!
Bye!